Actually looking at y'all on the tablet. So, all right, y'all. We're doing that because, um, just in case I do get a call from DJ, I do need to answer all of that. But anyway, welcome. Ooh, welcome. Um, to reading with Q. Yeah, eventually, when I'm able to, which will be today, I will start the intro, and we will have an intro, which I need to have intro for both reading with Q, and then also reality with Q. Let's talk reality with Q. I don't know why I'm grabbing my phone. Okay, y'all, let me check some messages real quick, and then I'll start reading. Hold on. All right, let's hop into this. Good morning, y'all. I'm your girl Q. How are you? If it looks blurry, I apologize. This shirt was not last minute set up. I'm still trying to wake up, y'all. Y'all, we are reading this book right here. It's by B.J. Daniels. It's called Crime Scene. Hold on, y'all, wait. All right, we're gonna start off right here. Um, so this is chapter 1, y'all. Actually, I want to change something. I'm gonna change the color. Go over here in style. Okay, more like that. I'll figure out what color I want the stuff to be looking a little later. Okay, chapter 1. As the pickup bounced along the muddy track to an old homestead, Diana Caldwell stared out at the wind scorched mountain landscape, haunted by premeditation. She had the night before. She had awakened in the darkness of no, she awakened in the darkness to the of an unusual warm wind against her bedroom window, and the steady drip of melting snow from the ebonies. No, my bad. Give me 1 second. Yo, well, it's not wrong. That word was Eve's. Okay. Anyway, a chain hook had blown on it. When she looked out, she seen the bare old aspen vibrating in the wind, lambs etched black against the clear night sky. It felt as if something had awakened her to warn her. The feeling had been so strong that she had trouble getting back to sleep, only to wake this warm this hold on, only to wake this morning to warning Fitzpatrick banging on the door downstairs. Y'all could tell I was sleeping all last night. Hold on. There's something you better see, the elderly ranch manager had said. Now, uh, and now, as Moore drove them up the dampy road from the ranch house to an old homestead, she felt a chill at the thought of what what waited for her at the top of the hill. Was this what she had been warned about? Warned pulled up next to the crumbling foundation and cut the engine. The wind howled across the open hillside, kinkling over the tall yellow grass rocking and pick and gently rocking the pickup. It was called the January thaw. Without the blanket of white snow, the land looked rugged out, all color washed from the hills until everything was a dull brown gray. The only green was a few lone pines swaying against the wind rising sky. Little reminder of the homestead house, just part of the rock foundation and the fireplace, the chimney, as stark as the pine against the horizon. Passage in the soft, wet earth. Donna saw Warren, sorry, Warren's tracks where he had walked to the old well earlier this morning. All that marked the well was a circle of rock and a few weathered boards that covered part of the opening. Warren cocked his head as if he already heard the marshal's SUV coming up the ranch road. Diana stranded her oh Diana straightened her ears but heard nothing over the pounding of her heart. She was glad Warren had always been a man of few words. She was already on the edge without having to talk about what he found. The elderly ranch manager was as dried out as a stick of jerky and just as tough, but he knew more about cattle than any man Diana had ever known. And he was as loyal as an old dog. Until recently, he and Diana had run the ranch together. She knew Warren wouldn't have gotten her up here unless it was serious, and Diana was caught. And as Diana caught the wind of the wine, my bad, of the approaching vehicle over the wind, the sound growing louder. Her dread grew with it. Warren had told her last night that he noticed the boards were off the old dry well again. I think I'll just fill it in. Safari that way. Safer that way. Give me something to do. Like a lot of Montana homesteads. The well was just a hole in the ground, unmarked except for maybe a few old boards thrown over it. And because of that, dangerous to anyone who didn't know where it was, didn't know it was there. Whatever you think, she told him. She told him the night before. She's she'd been distracted and really didn't care. Oh, my bad. And really hadn't cared. But she cared now. She just hopped. She just hoped Warren was wrong about what he seen in the bottom of the well. They knew soon enough, she thought as she turned to watch the one minute, y'all. I gotta all right, y'all. What was that? Okay. She thought as she turned to watch the Galilean Canyon Marshal shows black SUV. Hold on, y'all. All right. Sorry, I know I do what I gotta do. It's called work for a reason. Black SUV came roaring up the road from the river, scraping hold on, scraps driving faster than usual. She said, uh, frowning, you must have lit a fire under him when you called him this morning. Scrappy Morgan isn't Marshall anymore, Warren said. What? She glanced over at him. He had a straight look on his weathered face. Scrappy just up Scrappy just up and quiet. They had to hire a team. They had to hire a temporary marshal to fill in for a while. How come I've never heard about these things? But she knew the answer to that. She always been too busy on the ranch to keep up with the canyon's gossip. Even now that she worked down in Big Sky, her ties were still more with the ranch community. What little of it was left in the Galatian Canyon since the town of Big Sky had sprung up at the base of Lone Mountain. A lot of ranchers had sold out or subdivided to take advantage of having a sky and summer resort close by. So who's the interim marshal? She asked, as the sheriff, as the sheriff of uh, as the sheriff department SUV uh bound up the road, the morning sun gleaming off the windshield. She groaned. Not Scrappy's nephew Frank. Tell me it's Anyone but him. Warren didn't answer as the new marshal brought the black SUV with the Mountain State Marshal logo on the side to a top right next to her side of the pickup. All the breath rushed from her as she looked over and saw the man behind the wheel. Maybe I should have warned you, Warren said, sounding sheepish. Hey, Lady Vargo, how you doing this Sunday, my bad. Yesterday was Saturday and I slept in. Y'all, if y'all hear anything that sounds like a vibrator, I have my feet in my vibrating thing. Good afternoon, Susie. That's massaging my feet. We're only on page 13, y'all. We're gonna finish out the first page. We'll see about finishing out the first page. First page, first chapter is only about this much. And we'll pick this up. We will pick this up on Sundays, y'all. Okay? Reading with Q for now is on Sundays. It's gonna take me a while, but bear with me. Y'all know I'm not as good as DJ. But at least I'm trying. What was that? Oh yeah, sex. My bad. Um Y'all, I lost my place real quick. Give me a minute. Okay, here I am. All right. That would have been nice, she muttered between gritting teeth as she met Hudson Savage clear blue glaze. His look gave nothing away. The two of them might have been strangers instead of former lovers. For all the expression that showed in his face, shone in his handsome face. Her emotions boiled up like one of the Yellowstone uh ginsters just down the road. First, shook and right on his heel came Barry. When Hood had left town 5 years ago, she convinced herself she never had to lay eyes on that sorry son of a bitch again. I didn't say the book said it, okay? And here he was, damn, just when she thought things couldn't get any worse. Over the years as a policeman in LA, Hudson Hud Savage had stared down men who were bigger and stronger. Some had guns, some had knives and baseball bats, but none unnerved him like the look Dina Caldwell's whiskey brown lair. Hold up. All right, y'all. So we're gonna finish chapter one, and we're gonna slowly go through this book. Okay. He dragged his gaze away, turning to pick up the heavy-duty flashlight from the seat next to him. Coward, if just seeing her had this effect on him, he hate to think what talking would do. Her reaction to him was pretty much what he expected. He known she would be far from happy to see him, but he hoped she wouldn't be as fierce as she's been when he left town. Why do guys always think that? But anyway. But given the look in her eyes, he'd say that one wasted hope. And damn, if it was one less painful than it had been 5 years ago, seeing her angry, hurt. Not that he blamed her. He hadn't just left town. He flat out ran, tail truck, tail tucked between his legs. I said truck, I meant tuck. But he was back now. He picked up the flashlight and braced himself against the wind and Diana. No, not Diana, Dana. Caldwell. He opened the door and stepped out. The sun glinted glide on that off the truck's windshield, so he couldn't see her face as he walked to the front of the SUV. But what but he could feel her gaze boring into him like a bullet as he his snugged his stinks Stunson? Hold up. Told y'all we gonna be using Google. Okay, the word is Stetson. Okay. Why'd y'all just not say traps? That there would have been an easier word. But anyway, Stetson's down to keep it from selling off in the wind. When Warren had called the office this morning, HUD had introduced him not to go near the well, had instructed him not to go near the well. The ranch weren't the ranch foreman's original tracks to and from the well were the only ones in the soft dirt. It surprised Hud, though, that Diana hadn't gotten out to take a look before he arrived. She obviously hadn't known the order was from him, or she would have defined defied it sure as the devil. As he looked across the ranch, memories of the two of them seemed to blow through on the breeze. Everybody watching, thank you. He could see them along the glumpy, he could see them galloping on horsebacks across, yeah, galloping across that far field of wild grass, her long dark hair blowing back, face lit by sunlight, eyes bright, grinning at him as they raced back to the barn. They'd been so young, so in love. He felt that old ache, desire now, coupled with heartbreak and regret. Behind him, he heard first one pickup door open, then the other. The first one closed with a click. The second slammed hard. He didn't have a guess whose door that had been. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Warren hanging back, waiting by the side of his pickup. Out of the way and out of earshot as well as the line of fire. Warren was no fool. Are we going? Uh, are we going to stand here all day admiring the scenery, or are we going to take a look in the damn well? Really? Dana asked as she joined her. He just let out a bark of nervous laughter and looked over at her, surprised how little she changed, and and uh, lied of it. Y'all give me a minute. Hold on, y'all. My nose. All right, I'm back. Um, we're gonna try to finish this off. Your girl's actually starting to kind of get sleepy. Um, okay, here I am. She was small, 5'4", compared to his 6'6". She couldn't weigh she couldn't weigh 110 pounds soaking wet. But what there was of her was a combination of soft and curve and hard-edged, stubborn determination. To say he never knew anyone like her was putting it mildly. He wanted to tell her why he came back, but the glint in her eye warned him as she was no more ready to hear it than she's been when he left. Good idea. She stood back as he trailed worn tracks to the hole in the ground. A half a dozen boards and a half a dozen board had once covered the well. Now only a couple remained on the single road of the rocks. Yeah, I'm starting to kind of now like getting a little bit more comfortable. I was kind of nervous, though, so I'm not gonna lie. Um, wait, wait. We only got 3 more pages to go. Slowly going to get into this, y'all. I didn't say I was the best reader out there. Planning. Okay. Rimming the edges, the other boards appear to have been knocked off by the wind or fallen into the well. He flipped on the flashlight and shone the bottom beam down into the hole. The well wasn't deep, about 15 feet, like looking off the roof of a two-story house. Had it been deeper, Warren would never have seen what lay what lies in the bottom. Not lay, but lie in the bottom. Hutton leaned over the opening, the wind whistling in his ear. Flashlight beamed a pile, a pile gold as it skimmed the dirt bottom and the bones. Hud leaned over. Oh, okay, yeah. This is where I need to say Q. Take a look at that sleep rap. But no, not. Um, haunting with hunting with his father as a boy, Hutton had seen his share of remains over the years. The sun-bleached skeleton of deer, elk, moose, cattle, and coyote. were strewn all over rural Montana. But just as Warren had feared, the bones laying at the bottom of Caldwell Ranch dry weren't from any wild animal. Dana stood back, her hands in the pocket of her coat as she stared at Hud broad back. She wished she didn't know him as well. The moment he turned on the flashlight and looked down, she read the answer is in his shoulder. She already, her already upset stomach did a slow roll, and she thought for a moment she might be sick. I'd be sick too. I'll find a skeleton and see human body. Dear God, what was in the well? Who was in the well? Hud glanced back at her, his blue eyes drooling, drilling her to the spot where she stood, all the past burning there like hot blue flames. But instead of heat, she shivered as if the cold wind blew up from the bottom as well, a cold that could chill in the ways they hadn't imagined. As Hud straightened, uh, stranded, yeah, as Hud straightened and walked back to her. Looks like remains from something. All right, Hud said, giving her that same non-committal look he had when he drove up. Yo, we're gonna stop a little because I'm starting to get some. It's probably because I'm just tired. We're gonna have to stop it. I'm going to try my best to finish up these big pages, but I'm coming with something. The wind whipped her long, dark hair. She took a painful breath and let it go. Fighting the wind, It's not that your girl is not able to read. Yesterday, just want to whoop my ass. And that's always the graveyard shift that whoops my ass. Let's do this. What was that? Um, okay. Fighting. Let's see. Okay. Um, okay. I want to say okay. A wins fighting weakness herself. Okay. Scared. They're human bones, aren't they? Okay. Hud dragged his head off, and racked had handed through and raked a hand through his hair. Okay, I did not read that. Okay, so Hud dragged his hat off and raked a hand through his hair, making her fingers tangle, remembering the feeling tingle, remembering the feeling of that thick sun uh strength mop of his. Won't be certain until we get the bones to the lab. There we go. She looked away, angry at him, angry at him on so many levels that it made it hard to be civil. I know I know um there are human bones remains down there. Warren said he saw a human skeleton. So stop lying to me. Hunt's eyes locked with hers, and she saw anger spark and all that, but he didn't like being called a liar. But then she couldn't call him much, but then she could call him much worse if she got started. From what I can see, the skull appears to be a human. Uh, what's it? A human stood on staff. We about to go for it cause one, I want to know how. I know. I want this already to be broken down. Okay, the word is satisfied. From what I can see, the skull appears to be human. Satisfied, he said. She turned away from the only man who had ever satisfied her. She tried not to panic. If having Hud back, let any, let alone the okay, the intern marshal wasn't bad enough. There was a body in the well on her family's ranch. She tried to assure herself that the bones could have been in the well for years. The well had the well had been dug more than 100 years ago. Who knew how long the bones had been there? We just gonna finish it. So right here. But the biggest, but the big question, the same one, the same one she knew, HUD had to be asking, why was the bones there? I'm going to need I'm going to need to cordon this area off, he said. I would imagine with it being calving season, you have some cattle moving through here. No cattle in here to worry about, Warren said. HUD frowned and glanced out across the ranch. I didn't notice any cattle on the way either. Dana felt his glance shift to her. She pulled a hand from her pocket to brush the strands of her hair from her face before looking at him. The words stuck in her throat, and she was grateful to Warren. She was grateful to Warren when he said cattle were all auctioned this fall to get the ranch ready to sell. Hutton looked stunned, his gaze never leaving hers. You wouldn't sell the ranch? She turned her face away from him. He was the one person who knew just what this ranch meant to her, and yet she didn't want him to see that selling it was breaking her heart just as he had. She could feel gaze on her as if waiting for her to explain. When she didn't, he said, I have to warn you, Dana, this investigation might hold up a sale. She hadn't thought of that. She hadn't thought of anything but the bones. And to her added bad luck in finding out that HUD was acting martial. Word word is going to get out if it hasn't already. He continues, once we get the bones up, we'll know more, but this investigation could take some time. You do whatever you have to do, HUD. She hadn't said his name out loud in years. Here we go. Yo, we started off rocky, I'm not gonna lie. It sounded odd and felt even stranger on her tongue. Amazing that such a small word could hurt so much. She turned and had walked back towards pickup. Surprised, her legs held her up. Her mind was reeling. There was back, uh, there was a body in the well on her ranch. And Hud Savage was back after all this time of believing him long ago, long gone. She wasn't sure which shock, she wasn't sure which shocked or terrified more. She didn't hear from him. She didn't hear him behind. She didn't hear him behind her until he spoke. I was sorry to hear about your mother, he said, so close. She felt his warm breath on her neck and caused a swift of his and caught a swift of his aftershave. That's when you're swift. Like you're not close to that person. It's just they're right there in your face, and it's like you smell it. Yeah. The same kind he used when he was hers. Without turning, she gave a nod of her head, the wind burning her eyes, and jerked open the pickup door, sending a glaze to warn across the hood that she was more than ready to leave. Okay, y'all, this is what I'm getting. And then after I'm just gonna get to you. This is like a murder love story. I mean, even though the back said it, I'm just like I hate you, I love you. Okay. We'll talk. As she climbed into the truck and started to pull the door shut behind her, Hud dropped one large plum over the top of the door to keep it from closing. Dina, she shot him in the back. No, she shot him a look. She thought he might still remember, the same one. A rattle gives right before it strikes. She didn't shoot him, I bet. She shot him a look. Y'all know them looks that we be shooting at our partners like you feeling that. That type of look. Anyways, I'm gonna stop interrupting. I just wanted to say happy birthday. She tried not to show her surprise or her pleasure, pleasure that he remembered, that he said, though, made it all the worse. She swallowed and looked up at him, knife with an old family pain, the kind that just never went away, no matter how hard you fought. Hell, and we'll do chapter 2 next Sunday. All right. Dina, listen, I'm engaged. The lie was before she could call it back. HUD's eyebrows up. To anyone I know, she took guilty pleasure from the pain she heard in his voice. She saw his face. Laney Rankin. Laney, the lawyer? HUD didn't sound surprised, just uh conspicuous. He must have heard that she'd been dating. He must have heard that she'd been dating Laney. He's still saving up for the ring. What? An engagement ring? You're not wearing one? He motioned to her ring finger. Silently, she swore at her own stupidity. He wanted to hurt him and at the same time keep him at safe distance. Unfortunately, she hadn't given thought she hadn't given a thought to the consequence. I just forgot to put it on this morning, she said. Oh, you take it off at night. Another mistake. When Hutton had put the engagement ring on her finger so many years ago, she swore she never take it off. If you must know, she said, the diamond got caught in my glove, so I took it off to free it and must have laid on it. He browsed, his brows shot up again. Why didn't she just shut up? I was in a hurry this morning. Not that it's any of your business. You're right, he agreed. Must be a big diamond to get stuck in a glove, not like a small chip he'd been able to afford for her. His tone said, Ooh, child. This book's getting better than reality. Look, as far as I'm concerned, you and I have nothing to say to each other. Sorry, didn't mean to pry into your personal life. A muscle bunch in his jaw, and he took all that business. Marshall, look again. I appreciate it if you and Warren wouldn't mention what you found in the well to anyone. I know it's going to get out, but I like to try to keep a lid on it as long as I can. He had to be joking. The marshal's office dispatcher was the worst gossip in the canon. Oh, this movie good. Anything, anything else? She asked politely as his hand remained on the door. His gaze softened against, and she felt her heart do that pitter patter thing it had done since Hudson. It's good seeing you again, Dina, he said. I wish I could say the same, Hud. His lips up in a turned up in a rural smile as she joked hard as she jerked hard on the door, forcing him to relinquish his hold. If only she could free herself as easy. The pickup door slammed hard. Warren got in and started the engine without a word. She knew he heard her lie about being engaged, but Warren was too smart to call her on it. As the sun streamed into the cabin, Warren was swung as the sun streamed into the cabin. Warren swung the pickup around. Dina rolled down her window, flashed flushed with a heat flushed with heat that had nothing to do with the warmth of the sun or the January thought. She could see the ranch house down the hill, feel the rattle of the tires over the rough road, hear the wind in the pines. She promised herself she wouldn't do it even as she reached out. Her finger trembled and adjusted the side mirror to look back. Hud was still standing where she left him, looking after them. Happy birthday. Y'all, next Sunday we will do chapter 2. I said I wasn't the best reader. But I told y'all that regardless, we gonna get through every book. Welcome to Reading with Q. And I meant to y'all, this book is kind of like better than reality TV. I'm not even gonna lie. We had hiccups. I had to work. Um, things had to get done. But hey, y'all, we made it. I will have an intro ready hopefully by next Sunday. I'll work on it either later on today or Tuesday. Because tomorrow I will not have my tablet. I'll just have my phone. Um, so, and y'all also pray for your girl. Tomorrow I gotta wake up at 6, be out by like 7:30, 7:40. Anyway, how is your weekend going? Oh yeah. How is your weekend going? Um, do I like having y'all right here? Not really, because then y'all are able to see all the my lady parts. But it is what it is. Um, uh, so I got something that I gotta tell y'all. And first off, no, I'm not pregnant. Nobody pregnant. I know I always have to throw that out there to y'all. So when was it? All right. It was last Saturday when I got off for work. Me and my coworker, who I call my bro, shout out to Juan. That's my work brother. He's always looking after me. Like for real, for real. And shout out to my boss. 'Cause, you know, bosses actually. Anyway, um, I haven't tried running without a starter. Yeah, some of y'all might say, Q, what do you mean a starter? What are you talking about? Okay. So anyone who has ever had to get metals or plate put into their ankle, like how I had to do like right here, it's really not like all that great. Well, let me kind of just like how I had to have right here. Okay, y'all don't really see it, but okay, there we go. Okay, those are my scars. I have another scar. Just let me just flip this hair around. Yes, y'all, I'm just going to just show y'all the scars. Scar, my left ankle. Okay. Anyway, I had those two scars when I was hit by a 17. I was hit by two, and I had to have multiple surgeries, mainly in this intersection that I just got finished showing. Okay, staph infection wound up forming, wound vax. It was like a scary movie. Okay, I'll tell you. We'll get into all that when I'm ready. But anyway, um, but anyway, um, what happened was to run. I basically had to start off with a hop. So basically, you start kind of skip hopping before you actually start to run. And for the ones who know what I'm talking about, then we on the same page. It's like you do a skip hop and then you start to run. Well, I found out last Saturday that I don't have to do a skip hop anymore. Like I started off with it and something was like, you know what, just run. So yesterday, what I do is I try to run like at work. Not all the time at work. I just try to do that sometimes. Um, because if anything does go down, I don't need to skip and then run. I would like to get back to where I don't have to do that, to where I just run. Um, so yesterday I did that. I went to jogging a little bit, kind of just to wake myself up because it was 4 a.m. Cars started coming in. I didn't get no sleep. But I want to drink in my life real quick. Um, because work at 10 Friday night and it's Saturday morning, really can't get no sleep on the job. Um, anyway, what happened was I started to jog, so told myself I need to make sure that next time I jog that my back is up and that I'm not hunched over. Um, so that's something that I most definitely am going to work on when I'm at work. This morning and I felt bad. Like every ache, every nick, every pain, but that's just the part I'm getting back into being healthy. Um, yeah. I hope that y'all continue on to follow me through with this right here. I might start off being a little rough with it, but hey, the more reading I do, the better I'll get. Um, so come back next Sunday. I'm gonna try to do it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to stick to the same time to where we do it at um 12 Central Standard Time, my time. I'm gonna see how many pages we have with chapter two. If it's not that long, which so chapter two is kind of like chapter one with a little bit more pages. We're gonna break this up though, but yeah, I think the part of me breaking it up is just so that we can enjoy it. This gives us more time to do stuff. Um, so understand I'm not in a rush to get finished with this book. The reason why is because I'm also enjoying it. Um, and then the other book that we will do once I'm done with that will be this right here. Um, please comment down below of this video. Um, what other stuff do you want to see? I mean, just not see. What other books would you like me to read? Understand that I do have to go through the boxes um to see if we have certain stuff. But yeah. You're like Q, you stay on that damn phone. No DJ ain't turning around and messing you like that. No, he's not. But I do get to see our boy tomorrow. But yeah, my best advice is I'm gonna tell you this before I end this live. My best advice for y'all is to if you have a metal in your ankle, try to do it without it. I no longer have it. I had the outer metal taken out. I think when I was like 20, when I was like around 21, 22 ish. Yeah, I had it taken out when I was 20 going on 21 because that's when I had the surgery right here. The reason why was because it was causing tendonitis. I still have tendonitis regardless. Tendonitis, y'all, you think that's a Charlie, it feels like a Charlie horse, but it's not. It is way more painful. That's like a cramp times 1,000. Um, I could go get my shots for that, but I'm not going to because I know how to breathe it out, you know. Yeah, I need to start taking more pictures of myself. See, all right. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get back to where um I'm taking more pictures and we're gonna start having intros. Let me know if the video seems like that was lagging. If so, I apologize. Y'all realize that I haven't broken into my tablet like that, um, which I need to do more often. Need to break into my tablet. Other than that, y'all, I want y'all like to enjoy your weekend, your weekday, or weekend. My bad. And also shout out to my other YouTube channel, Q and DJ's channel, cause y'all are actually live. We're actually live at the same time, as I speak right now. Um, yeah. So I did find a way that I can go live at the same time because as the Q and DJ channel. Yes, I did. I did find a way how I could do that uh, off of StreamYard. That's another reason why I would never ever get rid of StreamYard. Um, but yeah, yeah, yo. I'm actually gonna go charge up I need to see what needs to get charged up first. My cell phone's good. I'm actually want to go charge up this tablet, y'all. Um, to anybody who's watching on the Q and DJ's channel, actually, I need to head over there real quick. I actually physically, hold on. While we're live right now, I actually need to switch. And y'all, the reason why I'm only give, if y'all want to know why there's only one subscriber, is because I don't promote that channel. I want that channel to be for the ones who are on the same page as me. Um, but I will push that algorithm myself. Uh, but yeah, y'all, come back, come check me out next Sunday. We're gonna do chapter two. Do chapter two. Um, and we're gonna be looking fire. So yeah. And also, y'all, do a lookout. We might, when I say we, I mean all of us, my subscribers and all. We might be doing something on my birthday. Well, it won't be on my actual birthday. It'll be on my birthday weekend. Because actually, I'm working on my birthday and on DJ's birthday and on our anniversary. Thank God for a job. That's all I'm saying, y'all. I should end this, but I don't want to leave y'all. But I'm getting tired, y'all. So check this out. I'm gonna check out later. I'm gonna go back to sleep. So hold on, y'all. Hey, I'm over here. I'm on my phone. And I was asking a person, like, what's your occupation? Y'all know. Y'all should already know. I'm a security guard. But, y'all, I do use other apps to connect with other people. Nice. Like this person right here, like they work in a warehouse. Before I end this, I do want to talk about jobs real quick. Um, do want to talk to you about this. Ladies and gents, I said this in the other post. We are all having fun. Remember that? If you have a friend, never have a broke friend. Okay? If you have a broke friend and they always need you to pay for everything and they can never pay you back, you don't need them. Understand this, if you have a friend and they live at home with grandma, grandpa, their parents, and they ain't gotta pay not one bill, that they don't know what you're going through. They don't have a effing clue. Surround yourself around likewise people or keep yourself closed off. Because the less people who have access to you, less people that be in your business. The struggle of not having money is something that you need to know. But if your friend is that friend who they have a job, but they're not being responsible. They're not paying bills, so they technically don't know what it means to be broke. But they want to go spend their money on stupid stuff like Louis and uh, all this other crazy mess. I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's when it gets down to when it gets down to perfume. There's nothing wrong with going to Victoria's Secret. There's nothing wrong with going to Bed and Bath and Body Works. I still got the bottles that DJ got me that got perfume up in it. And actors all from and that's one bottle from Victoria's Secret. The other two bottles are just from uh Bed Bath and Beyond. Ain't nothing wrong with shopping there. But you gotta have all these expensive brands. That's where money's going to. Something that I like about books like this, especially when it talks about him leaving, he left to go get and to make better. Never be scared to innovate yourself. I put y'all on the app last time. I'm gonna re-put y'all on this. Apple, Android uses listen up here. There's an app that's called Noise. I need to start posting more stuff so that my money can be able to increase. Cause you can cash out once you hit $50. Y'all should know I like to work. It will give you tasks like this. It will download for free. And you go through and you clip everything. I'm at $11.22. Now if I do this for a year and I'm earning 5 cents, 10 cents, 11 cents, y'all know how much money I would want to have made on this app. The thing about this app is that you don't want to cash out at 50. You want that money to sit there to where you have 1,000, 2,000, $3,000. You want to be the top person earning. You get paid off of views. And since my fan base ain't that big on TikTok, I'm not talking about my personal TikTok. No, 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 no. This where it helps me bring in stuff on my business TikTok. The TikTok that I either talk about DJ on. Because if you ever want to reach out to me, this is my. Let me see. Share profile. This QD21 underscore underscore. That's my personal TikTok. Okay. Let me see what's going on over here before I switch to the other account. I'm about to show y'all what this is up off of. Alright, this is off of somebody else's post I want to comment in. Okay? Understand I did this while I was up here with y'all on my tablet. Okay. I do want to share this one video so that y'all don't get scared. I get asked this question all the time, so I'm just going to answer it. I answered yes. What's going on? World War III is. I will be at work. Literally, I will be at work. Sorry, defense. What does that mean to you? Line of defense means when shit goes bad, I don't care what time it is, let me know I need to get my ass up and go to work ASAP. Okay? That means that no other security guard is going to be working. That means that my boss will be taken off completely. The other night guard will be taken off, and no one will be showing up to work except me. Everybody has got families. My job is to protect the home-based family and to make sure that they make it home safe to their families. Okay? Even on my post, there's protocol. That also means that every vehicle is going to be getting inspected. Listen to what I'm saying. Single vehicle. Realize other question: what level of security? I am in 2. Okay, there are 2s that are unannounced. Level 3s are guards, and level 4. That's a professional level. That means that you done served in one of our branches. Um, Technically, I was thinking about going to the Navy and signing up for a Navy. I'm about to get my butt in shape. But there's no point in me going to the Navy right now. If there's going to be war on the homeland. Okay? If my boss doesn't need me, leave it right now. Because we could be having issues. And the issue is going to come from what's going on the news with these sleeper cells. Okay? Plus, I also do love my job. I'm just waiting for us to get like an increase in pay. Yeah, I might ask Q, what does that mean when she calls you and you gotta go in? What does that mean? That means that I'm working ass off. There is not going to be an amount of coffee. I'm gonna need Red Bulls and vitamin B12, which I do have, to keep me up all night, to keep me sanity. Because I need to keep my sanity. And I'm going to have to check every vehicle. post does have a problem. Bad one. That means that. If y'all want to watch our whole entire video, y'all go follow me. Oh, they're so cute. Go follow me on TikTok. Okay. And that's at Q's channel. Somebody wanted responding to a post, to a comment that I want to post it. Because I ran cells. I'll have y'all listen to this in a little bit. Person said to get a paycheck and go home. Hate to break it to you, but your company won't do the same for you. No, what's gonna happen is, when I die, my family's gonna get money, and I'm gonna get a burial. That's what the fuck is gonna happen. Dude, I'm about to reply back to that. Yeah. I'll reply back to the stupidity later. Um, well, I'm gonna let you listen to this guy. Let me answer this. What's gonna happen is in certain states, I don't know, y'all know how it is, okay? Let me tell y'all what's gonna happen, okay? What's gonna happen is when um as we call it the beginning of World War III, there are certain states like New York, um, Detroit, okay, Wisconsin, Florida, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Arizona, uh, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Ohio states, including here in the state of Texas. Y'all should don't say Texas for last. What's going to happen is when people start when word comes here to the United States of America, them people going to realize that they done FAFO. Okay, a lot of people in California. I said 59. I said 49. I didn't say 50. And the only reason why I'm not saying California is because California, the state of Texas, might have to come save y'all. Okay? New Yorkers might have to come save half of y'all. I'm not saying all, I mean like half. If the war breaks out here in the United States, my best thing is for me to tell you, if you live there in the state of California, just move to Texas. Okay, we will gladly have you here. Just don't jam up the traffic, okay? Um, because if Gavin New turns around and says that they can't shoot nor kill anybody who's killing them, look here, it's a war. Keep your family safe. If that were to happen to me, my ass would be at work. So yeah, y'all, we just did chapter one. I'll do chapter two next Sunday. I'm not DJ, not the one who's gonna push it to the limits. I actually need to get some sleep, but I'm on the phone talking to y'all. So, but we're just. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If the war breaks out here, say in United States, it comes to home base. Home base is the state you live in, the continent you live in, and I'm even talking to you, Alaska. Okay, y'all protect your families. My job is to protect my post out there. I will gladly cash out one of my neighbors to go right ahead, leave me out there. Take me out there, leave me out there, thank you. Make it right back home safe. I will gladly do that. So yep. Yo, if I sound bad, it's the summertime, summer cold. Y'all know normally I get a sinus infection at least 3 to 4 times. I could go to the ER. I'm not going to. I'm gonna take me some NyQuil and I'm gonna go to sleep. So I'm just gonna end this. Cause y'all are insane. Q, you've been winning. Why don't you just go for a little bit and we'll see you next Sunday. I will see y'all next Sunday. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, my reading ain't all that superb, but hey, the more we read, the better we improve, right? Um, so yeah. I'm gonna call it a day. Good afternoon. I love y'all and have a great Sunday. Bye for now, y'all. And I will have an intro for y'all next Sunday. I promise y'all. All right. Bye.